So Papa Doc kills all the black dogs in Haiti because he thought Barbot had turned into a black dog, and then he finds that Barbot wasn't a black dog, so he kills him. Tonton Macoute kills him. The boogeyman, same people kidnapping people in the middle of the night and shaking people down for bribes and extortion, and he keeps Barbot's head. So he also puts a curse on JFK. He says that's why JFK died, and then he takes the air from JFK's grave. And when he takes the air from the top of JFK's grave, now Papa Doc can control JFK's soul. So fucking voodoo. Voodoo's fucking insane. There's no separation of church and state. He institutes voodoo as the country's religion. And then that's June 14th, 1964, Papa Doc holds another sham election, a referendum election. And it says 2.8 million people voted, there was only 1 million registered voters, so now there's over double the amount. I don't know if they registered that many more, or it's probably all horseshit. They voted in favor of making Papa Doc president for life. Only a couple thousand actually voted against. So there was some people that had voted against. It seemed to be more honest than what the other one was when it was 1.3 to 0. All 1.3 million people who voted was for Papa Doc, and nobody voted against him. But there was a couple brave souls that actually voted against him in the 1964 president for life. Papa Doc posed for a portrait that shows Jesus Christ putting an arm on his shoulder, and he's like, I have chosen him. So Jesus specifically chose Papa Doc to carry on the legacy of president for life, which is weird. He's a voodoo priest, so what the fuck does that guy do with Christianity? He's a politician, so he's got to appeal to all groups of people. So voodoo, Christianity, it's all the same shit to him. So okay, the Duvaliers in America, they're united. The Duvaliers and American presidents, they love each other. They love each other. So the Duvaliers are oppressive. They're against communism. They're right-wing politicians. They like this stuff. And actually, I think Nixon was the last liberal president. Now, from Ronald Reagan on to Bush, these are neocons. We're in a whole other era here. Any gains that the 60s had made have been washed back. Hunter S. Thompson said that George W. Bush was Nixon only on crack. Just he was way worse. They wasn't even a close, comparison. And he hated Nixon, like with a passion. He hated Nixon. But he said Bush was worse. So, anyways, Baby Bush, right? Papa Bush and Baby Bush, just like Papa Doc and Baby Doc. In January 1971, Papa Doc decreed that his tubby son, Jean-Claude 19, would succeed him in the presidency. Haitians were called to the polls to ratify the secession of the moon-faced playboy whose interests seemed to revolve around women and fast cars. So Baby Doc going to become president. 1971, Papa Doc dies. Baby Doc becomes president. In order to make it seem legit, they had another sham election. This time, Baby Doc wins the plebiscite handily. He gets 2.4 million votes, and his opposition gets 0. So another blowout by the Duvaliers, another blowout by Baby Doc and Papa Doc, right? Nobody voted against him. Everybody in Haiti wanted Baby Doc to be president during his time. He also had the Tonton Macoutes going around terrorizing the fuck out of everybody, ripping organs out of their bodies and selling it to international markets. He's into voodoo. He probably inherited the legacy of having to control JFK's soul, all that controlling soul probably takes a lot of time. So you have Papa Doc dies, Baby Doc gets in there, has an election, and now they asked him if he intends to hold any elections now that he's gotten into office, and he says, I intend to remain president for life as constitutionally guaranteed. So he had one election. That's all he needed to have. He's going to be president for life forever. 1971. And he stayed in there for 15 years. So he was going to stay there forever. In 1982, the United States forced Haiti's government to slaughter all of their pigs. The United States had heard that there was a virus in the pig population, so they put pressure on Haiti to slaughter all the pigs. And Baby Doc went ahead and did it. 1982, that's Ronald Reagan. So Ronald Reagan put pressure on Haiti to slaughter all of the Haitian pigs, which they're still pissed about. pigs are good for feeding, slop, any of the extra food that you have. You can feed them. They stay in one spot. They eat all your garbage, and they're a meal later on. And also, the new pig that they replaced wasn't as good as the Haitian pig. And overall, 1982, the year I was born, Haiti loses $600 million from this Haitian pig extermination, and they haven't recovered from it since. Some people have said. So, 1985, Baby Doc's Haiti had an 81% extreme poverty rate. So it wasn't just poor people, but it was everybody was poor. And this is compared to Papa Doc. Papa Doc had a 40-something% rate, during the late 50s and 60s. So Baby Doc's Haiti in 1985, before he gets deposed, doubled the poverty rate. So he wants to say, what happened to my country? What happened to your country when you was ruling it, Baby Doc? Baby Doc, you increased the poverty while having, $20 million weddings and driving luxury cars, sports cars, brand new mansions, new houses. You're a playboy, just buying this and that and didn't give a fuck. So, while your country's falling into poverty, you're building up all these, extra expenses which nobody needs. You're embezzling money, you're stealing money. You still got the Tom coup, right, terrorizing the population. So that's, everybody's poor in Haiti, which is in stark contrast to his Baby Doc's lavish lifestyle. Ronald Reagan did like Baby Doc. Ronald Reagan gets there in 1980, and up until 86, for 6 years, Ronald Reagan was financed Baby Doc with U.S. aid. In 1986, eventually, because of the Iran-Contra scandal, I think, the Iran-Contra scandal, where there was money and guns was taken from Iran so we could use it to fight against the freedom, democratic, popular revolution that was happening in Nicaragua. So one more time, Ronald Reagan is on the side of the oppressive, authoritarian, Führer, dictator, Hitler-type people, and against the revolution. This is again in this is Ronald Reagan. He did it several times in El Salvador and Nicaragua, and there's another one. Honduras, not Honduras, Nicaragua, El Salvador, and I don't know if I think of the other one, it'll come back. But he thinks for United Fruit, he just, for business interests, we can go in there and just kill whoever we want to kill. And so that's Ronald Reagan's position. And since the Iran-Contra came out, and this isn't the only time America did it. Woodrow Wilson was in Mexico during the Mexican Revolution. They wanted freedom. We go in there and fucking invade and act like we're going to fucking occupy their shit. Haiti has a revolution. We're financing the French. But basically, we're only for one revolution, and that was just a revolution against the British colonists, but not for the Indian Revolution, which would have kicked all the white people out. So it was kind of an in-between revolution. Kicked some oppressors out, kept some oppressors in, and exterminated other people. So largely, the United States has been against revolutions. They want order and control because they want business to be able to grow, and they need a peaceful and secure place for business to grow. If that means you got to have a hardline person, if that means you got to assassinate somebody in Chile in order to get some right-wing dictator into power, to institute a shock doctrine, to make their economy scream, as Henry Kissinger says, then that's what you got to do. You got to kill a socialist, and then you got to put a dictator, a fascist, capitalist in office, so that way, American can take all your resources and all your raw materials, since that's ultimately what the point is. Okay, so Ronald Reagan, again, he's killing people in Nicaragua, taking the money that he got from Iran. All this is illegal, off the books, not declared war. Somebody told, somebody got out. CIA does this shit all the time. And he has to apologize for it. And since the CIA is now being put in a bad light, and people are saying, what's this about? What's going on here? The CIA wants to better their reputation at the time, and so they get rid of Baby Doc. And that was a good decision. I think it was a good decision. We shouldn't meddle in the affairs of other people, but he was a dictator for life. He had no inclination to step down or have elections or have any opposition. And, he was oppressive. So, living a lifestyle, everybody's poor, he didn't give a fuck about his country. Um, this is the one thing that the CIA actually did, I think that is a good thing. That was right. The Arab Spring, I think, was a good idea too. Having people protest on the streets, and it's weird, America sees all these images on TV, but it doesn't inspire us to get on the streets. Anyways, so they need to boost their image in Latin America. Traditionally, the CIA's propped up these dictatorial regimes. While Oliver North got it wrong with assassinating Oscar Romero in El Salvador. What is that other country? El Salvador, Nicaragua, and I cannot remember. There's three of them that Ronald Reagan was involved in killing. Nicaragua, El Salvador, and I'm gonna look this up actually. So Latin America, a map of. Let's see, there's Costa Rica, Guatemala, El Salvador, Nicaragua, Guatemala. Guatemala was descended into complete chaos, actually, in 1954. Dwight motherfucking Eisenhower. He goes in there, overthrows their governments because they wouldn't allow United Fruit to, they was going to take United Fruit's land, so they overthrow their government. And then Guatemala just descends into chaos, and there's a civil war that lasts over 2 decades. 500,000, 1 million Guatemalans are killed, and it's absolutely devastating for the entire, for everybody. So. For the Guatemalan people. They was against the revolution, against the popular uprising. They was for business interests. They was for the right-wing dictatorships. And it's these right-wing dictatorships keep on popping up over and over again. So that's, that's Ronald Reagan's take on this. He's got this bad image in Latin America, so he orders Oliver North to take care of Baby Doc. 1986, the first, I guess, coup d'etat in recent history. So there's 3 coup d'etats that had happened in Haiti by the American government. So, Oliver North, the CIA only ousted Baby Doc in 86 to help with the CIA's perception instead of doing what was right. Oliver North, under the auspices of the failed and disastrous war on drugs, brought an end to Haiti's nightmare. So that same year, a statue of Christopher Columbus was torn down. Christopher Columbus is the one who started the European invasion, started the genocide, the subsequent genocide and the takeover and the occupations. Christopher Columbus is, personally responsible for wiping out all the Taino natives in Hispaniola and Dominican Republic in Haiti. And they tear Christopher Columbus's statue down after Baby Doc is taken away. So that's 1986 is when he was taken away. Now, so what are we going to take from all this? Well, there's a lot of things to take from all this. America and Haiti's had a tumultuous relationship. Both of them are racist. It's almost like Bizarre World in a certain regard. Not everybody is racist. Not everybody hates the opposite color. But everybody in America and in Haiti sees black and white. Black, white, black, white. So you're either black or you're white. And where it's kind of like the exact opposite. It's like everybody sees black or white, so it's like, hey, there's a black guy, there's a black guy. That's what you say in America. In Haiti, it's like there's a white guy, there's a white guy. They ain't saying that it's bad that you're white. It's just that you're white, right? So hey, there's a white guy, and but some people were like, oh, there's a white guy. So there's people who describe, that you're different, but not in a bad way. And then there's people who hate the fact that you're a different person. And I think both of this has to do with, the tumultuous relationship, but also they codified into their constitution that no white people could own property or have political power. So racism was institutionalized in Haiti to a less extent than in America. America institutionalized racism, but it was through slavery. They instituted racism. It's not funny. It's so horrendous, and it makes a person well up in tears if you truly think about this shit. But black people were only 3/5 of a person. That's because they were slaves, and the South wanted to use their votes, but they didn't want them to be full-fledged human beings. So we have a constitution. We're fighting a revolution, and we write this constitution, and we say You know, some people are free, and all the black people are not. So I think the institutionalized racism in America is a million times worse. And also because of that, slavery is why Jefferson wouldn't side with Toussaint Louverture during his War of Independence. Um, and there was no white slavery. Toussaint Louverture was the birthplace of human rights. So the French Revolution has happened, and they want equality, fraternity, liberty. Equality, fraternity, liberty. I think friendship, equality, and freedom for everybody. So that's their ideals that they was fighting for. And there's more conclusion coming up.